Welcome back to The Lost Digit. Today is going to be a rather long video, but I'm going to talk about the last 16 months of ownership with the 2019 BMW 330i M Sport and how that's been. So it all started in January of 2019 when we put in an order to kind of have it custom made and shipped especially for us. And that took about a little less than 2 months. And once we received the car, the day it arrived, we picked it up that morning. And what it was a mineral gray 330i with the M Sport package. We kept the stock seats, but we did choose the M black wheels, which are really nice, the black rims. And then we also selected the open grain wood inside. A lot of the features came, with the M Sport package because that included the convenience package, so we didn't have to do too much in terms of extra options. So the car is pretty loaded. The other thing we did do was add the live cockpit display, and that was a big one for me, is having that new digital dash as well as the larger infotainment view for CarPlay and other things. So if you look inside, it's a pretty standard. We don't have any of the interior lighting packages because at the time they were not offered as a standalone option, so you actually had to upgrade to the thicker leather seats to get the lighting at the time. And for us, we didn't want those seats, so we couldn't get the interior lighting, which was kind of bad. So if you see here, in these 16 months I've had the car, put around 16,500 miles on it, and every mile has been really great. So we have the sports steering wheel, we have the open grain wood. It's very important not to have gloss black or gloss woods inside of the car, and anytime you say knock on wood, you have wood right there, you can just knock on it. So things I did. The first thing was I disabled the active sound because this tweeter here in the center of the car rattles at certain frequencies. So when you're accelerating hard in sport mode, this would actually rattle. So the first thing I did was, with Bimmer code, disable that active sound and lower the treble a little bit so that in songs it doesn't bother you. The other thing with Bimmer code that I did was I enabled the Alpina display here, and that's really nice because I like blue, so I had blue dials now. And the startup and shutdown logos are also really cool, coming in with Alpina. Some people don't like to do this, but I thought it was nice. And because it is made for the G20 and it's seamless, it's something that I chose to do. The other thing I did was I ordered an original OEM grill, and I have a video for that as well, which you could check out, but I installed this myself, and I made sure to get an OEM original grill just so that it would be compatible with the active grills. I didn't want any issues there, and I thought it looked really good. The other thing is I put tint on the car, so the 4 side windows had tinted, and I tinted the back to a higher degree than the front windows, so it's kind of privacy in the back and then just for sun protection in the front. The other thing I did was I added a CS style spoiler, and I got that online, and I installed it with the 3M adhesive that it came with. I think it looks great. So if you want to see what that looks like, this is what it looks like. I think it looks great, came out really well. And then another thing I did was, I also have a video on this, is I opened this valve. So I keep it open at all times so that startup and revving, when in neutral and these sort of things, you always get the pops that you want when in sport mode. So looking at the car when it's on, now you can see that the dials are green. And what I want to show you here is that there are 2 main modes. So there's Sport Traction and then DSC off. So Traction does you could say like a reduced version of traction control. So if you have enough boost built and you take a turn, with a certain angle, or you throw the body of the car well, or if it's, moist at all, the car just handles really well, and it's similar to like a safe drifting mode, where it will still correct you and take control so you don't do anything too crazy. DSC off, however, is when you hold the traction button for several seconds. That one, nobody's helping you. So if you don't know what you're doing, you know, you could easily spin out or crash the car. But if you want to have fun, that's definitely a great mode to use. You just have to know how to use it, right? The car also, I have a lot of videos about this, so maybe I'll show a clip about the revving. But in sport mode, the backfires, the engine sound, everything is just really great in this car. What's amazing about it is the dynamic capability. So the fact that you can go from sport mode to Eco Pro, and what I do is an individual mode. Basically it's just Eco Pro, but then I do sport steering, so I get the stiff steering. And I'll only use this if I'm going on the highway. So after I enter the highway, and if I want, I'll cruise control Eco Pro, and I can easily get over 40 miles per gallon. And that's what's really amazing about this car. But if you go back into sport mode and you're on the surface streets, you know, you could be at 13 miles per gallon. So the dynamic nature of this car is quite amazing. The steering wheel feels great. It's a little thick for some people, but I have very large hands, so it feels great for me. The seats we chose are not the leather seats, so we took the regular ones. I think it was called Sensitech. These are much softer than the real leather seats, so we actually do not regret them at all, and we're happy that we chose them. They go along well also with the open grain wood. Now everything about this is pretty redesigned, but also the AC is very good. Everything in this car has been great and reliable. It also has 3 garage openers here, auto dimming, and then has the SOS button, which I've used to, you know, call BMW support to ask about features. Has LEDs, sunroof. There is a sunroof rattle when it's in tilt mode, which I'll talk about in the end, which is something I didn't like, and there's no real fix for. The mirrors you do have the option without coding now to just, when you lock the car, the mirrors close, which is really nice. Most of the time when I'm driving this car in surface streets, I'm in sport mode, and it really comes alive. It sounds great for a 4-cylinder engine, and the amount of torque really that it provides and the way it provides it is really, really refined. So, you know, it's rated at 295 pound-feet of torque, which is similar to many performance 6-cylinder engines that are naturally aspirated. So you get that level of torque, but it comes in, you know, around 1500 RPM. So there really is a great engine in this car. Also have the standard LED daytime run lights, and the LED headlights are quite amazing. So if you're driving at night or through the mountains, the way they curve with the steering is really great. So if you want to go over what I like and dislike in this car, just kind of as like a summary. The things I like is definitely the engine torque, the power delivery of the engine, and the sound of it. And for a 4-cylinder engine with the stock exhaust, it sounds great. So I have a bunch of videos where you can hear what that sounds like and why I like it. But you can hear the turbo spool, you can hear backfires, you can hear, you know, the blow off, or when you're shifting gears. It really sounds great for a 4-cylinder engine. The driving dynamics, so for a car of this size and weight, it handles really well, and it's really fun to drive, but it's very stable and sturdy at the same time. And what's great about that is how dynamic it is. So if you're in sport mode, you know, it's a lot of fun to drive, but the second you put it in comfort or Eco Pro, you know, you can get over 40 miles per gallon. You can just cruise. It's very comfortable, and it's really a great car that, you know, everyone in the household could enjoy. It has a lot of standard features, especially with the comfort package that comes with M Sport. So if you're getting M Sport package, you get a lot of great features, especially if you put the Live Cockpit Pro add-on. The displays with the Live Cockpit Pro are really nice. So the infotainment and the Live Cockpit are really sharp and crisp, and they almost always just work as intended. And I say almost because there were some issues with CarPlay I want to say in mid 2019, but there were iOS updates and updates to our infotainment system that fixed them, and since then it's been connecting every time, so it's been really good lately. The headlights, like I said, are really great. At night they follow where you're turning on the road, if you're curving through hills, whatever it is. The headlights are great, especially in the standard configuration that I have. The looks, I mean, this car looks great. I get compliments all the time. The mineral gray metallic looks great when it's freshly cleaned, especially. It's a car that even after almost a year and a half, I still never get sick of looking at it. So far, reliability has been great. I haven't had a single issue. The tweeter does, well, I'll talk about that in a bit. But as far as issues, the car has had zero issues, and the build quality, aside from the two things I'm going to talk about, have also been really good. So it's just been a sturdy, reliable car that's been a joy to drive every single day. Things I dislike, so the active sound, I would prefer if they let us choose on or off. I manually disabled it, and I definitely recommend you to disable it if you got this car and you do hear that rattle when in sport mode and you're pushing it pretty hard. But that is not an issue of active sound. The rattling issue is actually the tweeter. So I've seen in the forums you can insulate it better. So if you pop it off, you can kind of fix the rattling. And I hope that they fix that in future revisions. And then the sunroof, if it's in tilt mode and you're just cruising at like 40 miles per hour, you can hear a rattle once in a while, and that's kind of annoying, for a car of this price. It should not be doing that. And then the final thing is that Sport Plus is not standard in the USA, and with the adapter I had for BIMR code, I could not enable it, but if you do buy like $100 Wi-Fi adapter, you should be able to enable that even in the USA. So overall, having this car for a year and a half, it's been beyond my expectations, really amazing. And I highly recommend it. The only two downsides are the tweeter rattle and the sunroof rattle, but in most cases those two items almost never come up. So overall, in terms of driving, reliability, comfort, the dynamic capability especially, so you get the high miles per gallon for long roads, but at the same time, if you want to have fun, put in sport mode. It's really fun to drive with 295 pound-feet of torque, and the way it does deliver that torque in the lower RPMs. So yeah, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them, and see you in the next one.